No. I am Steve. I don't know, guys, just go with it. Today, we're gonna roll with it. Earlier this week, as was announced at Minecraft Live 2025 Spring, brand new update, the Spring to Life drop, it is out right now. A little bit earlier on this week, we took a look at the Java version of the update, also called 1.20.1.5. That update is great and all, and into this wonderful modern era, the updates are in near parity, but Bedrock's got some different features too. And so, my friends, that's how we land here. Today, this is everything in 1.21.70. Beginning with the add-ons, a gigantic, huge shift in the meta when it comes to add-ons and advancements. And what is perhaps one of the greatest moves of all time, add-ons, maybe like this Palin one right here, well, they won't just necessarily inherently completely disable achievements any longer. Yes, that's right, one of the greatest improvements to the achievement system of all time. However, at the same time, it's kind of still in the 90s too. Flat world, achievements, come on. Let a guy live. Now, alongside this wonderful new system with achievements, when you go to create a world, if you have a world in which you cannot earn achievements, this brand new pop-up is going to pop up in which it will list off every single one, each reason as to why achievements are disabled. The super flat, come on, please. This system definitely still needs some work, but this is one of the most beautiful changes ever. Oh, but speaking of beauty, creative inventory spawn eggs. Inside of this update, this Spring to Life drop, every single spawn egg has a whole brand new personality. This is such a beautiful change, and also a change we have been oogling over since this thing initially popped up in snapshots and previews like a month ago now. They're all so amazing looking. Now, the Spring to Life update is an update all about revolutionizing the overworld. In the words approximately of the devs during Minecraft Live, the goal with this drop was to make the biomes across the overworld not only feel a little bit more unique, but add some more life to all of them. In a sense, you could split this drop into three main categories: temperate, hot, and cold. Each update inside of this update won't necessarily only fit inside of those categories, but many of them will, including the brand new wildflower flower. You'll be able to find this new yellow flower, a small, tiny little flower too, spawning all across the birch forest biomes, the meadow biome, and a couple other places inside of your world. If you're familiar with the pink petal flower from the cherry blossom biome, then the wildflower is going to feel very, very familiar to you, because it's practically the same thing. Just like you can with most other plants in the game, you can compost the new wildflower. Also, just like every other flower in the game, if you want to pick it up, just walk over to it, no need for shears or silk touch or anything, and punch it. When you place one on the ground, it is rotational. Depending on the direction in which you are facing, when you place one on a block, it'll start in a different corner. When I add more flowers to the block, it will continue to, well, add more flowers to the block. Another way to pull this one off is bone mealing the flower though. Every time you bone meal it, a little more flowers grow until eventually it's maxed out and the flowers just pop off and throw onto the ground. If you were real crafty with things, you could throw this into the crafting table and make yellow dye. Functionally very similar to the wildflower, but aesthetically entirely different, leaf litter. This is a brand new, basically leaf pile that you'll be able to find spawning, generating across many of the forest biomes inside of your world, including the classic forest and the dark oak forest. Listen to these things. Oh, they sound good and crunchy when you walk on them. So if you want to, you can run up to these things and punch them, break them with your hand, and they will pop right off. Up to 4 of them can go on a single block, and they are directionally placed as well. But you don't have to go out into your world and find these things. Unlike with the wildflowers, if you want to, well, you could go ahead and basically just straight up create these things inside of a furnace, or maybe even use these things inside of a furnace as fuel to create even more of other things. And guess what I'm saying here is any leaf in the entire game, could be oak leaves, the pink leaves, whatever. Well, you smelt them up and they turn into leaf litter. These new leaves are pretty cool because the devs, thankfully, before their full release, made it so you can place them on almost any block in the game. So you can maybe use these for some pretty cool build combinations. Carrying right along here, inside of the more temperate biomes across your world, you'll also be able to find a brand new tiny, it's minuscule, but it's called a bush. Now, unlike these other things that we've checked out so far, if you want to pick this thing up, don't hit it with your hand. Instead, pick it up with a pair of shears or silk touch it. Place it down on the ground, bone meal it, and more bushes will spread. If you wanted to, you could take these bushes, pick them up with shears, throw them in the composter, and, well, they're gone forever. No pun intended, maybe. One of the most fire plants in this entire update, though, it's called the Firefly Bush. You'll be able to find this thing most commonly generating in swamps, but you could also find it alongside water, somewhere like a river biome. Walk up to this thing, smack it with your hand, and unlike that other bush, the bush, but better this time, you can pick it up with your bare hand. Bone meal the thing, and more of the plant will spread. Now, during the daytime, it does have a nice aesthetic about it all. Like, it's a pretty cool looking plant, but it doesn't do much else. Like, if you listen, yeah, there's nothing. And if you look, there's not much else either. That is, until things roll around to nighttime. Now listen. Oh, it's beautiful. You could hear fireflies, and taking a look at the surrounding area, the particles all over the place. The firefly bush, it will spawn firefly particles inside of your world, make a little bit of noise as well. Honestly, not gonna lie, compared to the Java version, this one is far more powerful because up to like 10 blocks away from a single firefly bush, has a dim light level by the way, but up to like 10 blocks away, these new firefly particles will be able to spawn or generate or fly around, whatever you want to call it. Now, unfortunately, the firefly particles are just that. They're just particles. You can't like interact with them or anything like that, but wow, golly, these things are beautiful. Now, if you're enamored with everything inside of this update and you just can't get enough of it, well, 1, check out the update video from earlier this week. I say some different stuff there. And 2, on the end card will be the playlist to this update with every video that I've made on it. To be honest, this video will talk about a lot, but there are so many fine details to all of these new things. But speaking of fine details, oh my gosh, one of the greatest upgrades in this entire update happens to the lodestone, because no longer do you need a netherite ingot to craft this thing. The devs probably took a look at their internal statistics and realized that nobody has crafted this thing since 1.16, and even then, it was only like 10 of us. Alongside that wonderful change, if I was ever able to find one, well, sort of just like how you can now find bundles in certain village chests from time to time, you'll be able to find lodestones in rune portal chests as well. 2 final temperate biome changes before we move on to the other biomes and some other updates as well. The cow model. Now, this is going to apply to every cow, new and old, but the cow model has been updated. The nose on this thing applies to mushrooms as well. Well, the nose on the cow, both the grown-up and the baby one, it actually sticks out now. They've also smoothed the cow's pixel work as well, making the lighter spots on the temperate cow blend out a little bit more now. And inside of the temperate biomes in which sheep will spawn in your world, so the forest biome, the plains biome, well, the sheep that is most common is going to be the white sheep. However, you will now be able to find light gray sheep, black sheep, gray sheep, and brown sheep spawning here too, just a little bit less commonly. Aside from the ones that we've already taken a peek at, a couple other biome changes that we should know about. The dark oak forest biome has way more dark oak trees now, and a little bit less birch trees, oak trees, and other trees. This was actually done as a parody update with Minecraft Java Edition, one that I guess somehow just missed the cut from the last update, 1.21.60, the overworld overhaul V1. And the meadow biome, in order to make room for these brand new beautiful wildflowers, they actually reverted a change that was made in the last update. They made the grass plant that generates all over this biome generate a little bit less. Oh, next up, the Wandering Trader, the star of this near 19-minute long video right here. So for more on it, check that out next, but these trades are brand new to the Wandering Trader. Check this thing out. It will now love the idea of buying things from us. It'll trade with us 2 times for most trades and then lock. And then it'll also have a bunch of brand new trades and new prices as well. These new trades and buys that the Wandering Trader will take from us are so amazing and so much better. And actually, one of these new buys, if I'm lucky enough to get my hands on one of them, the fermented spider eye buy right here, this is a really good one. At 3 emeralds per fermented spider eye. That means you can make 6 emeralds from this guy, not including the other trade, and then maybe pick up one of the new plants or something. Now, next up, I figured we'd try our hand at cracking into one of the largest parts of this update. Of course, the warm biome updates. To kick everything off here, beginning with a Bedrock Edition exclusive update, the donkey will now spawn inside of the savanna biome. I believe previously, the donkey just didn't spawn here. But I'm not gonna lie, maybe the bigger deal and more hype spawning change that happens inside of this update, well, it's the camel. You'll now be able to find these things spawning across the desert. Now, when you do happen to find the camel spawning inside of the desert, it'll always spawn on its own. But oh my gosh, you listen for a second. Oh, wow, it's windy. We have a brand new ambiance tied to the sand block that you'll be able to hear most frequently inside of the desert biome, but it will play inside of the Badlands biome and other places where there's a lot of sand as well, so like a beach or something. Also, inside of the desert, as you probably noticed immediately, take a look at all of these brand new grass plants dotting the sand all over the place. So the stuff, it's called dry grass. If you want to pick it up, you need to use a pair of shears or silk touch. We have 2 different versions of it. There's the short version, or if you bone meal it, there's the tall version. version. Now, inside of the desert with all the sand, sometimes it's a little bit hard to notice. It also does this really cool thing wherein, depending on the block that it is sitting on, will not only offset on the X and Z coordinate, but also offset on the Y coordinate as well. So sometimes the grass appears to be a little bit shorter than it actually really is. Of course, if you manage to pick it up if you wanted to, it is compostable just like other grass. And pretty cool, unlike other grass, I mean, you can place this stuff on sand, but you could also place it on normal grass blocks as well. So you can kind of really take it all over the place and decorate up your world like crazy. Now, across the desert, we know how it goes. A little plant called the cactus likes to generate here. Growing on top of the cactus sometimes is a brand new flower called the cactus flower. The cactus flower is such a nice looking flower, and is also one of the only flowers that can basically be placed on anything in the entire game. As you might have guessed from its pop pink color inside of the crafting table, turn it into pink dye. This flower has the chance to grow on top of a cactus, but only if there is not a block directly next to the top of the cactus. That would mean something like a block right here would mean that this flower would have never been able to grow. Now, the plants are nice, but maybe even more nice, brand new warm mob variants. We've got a new chicken. Take a look at that thing. It's orange. We've got a brand new cow. That thing looks tough and evil, like a bull or something. And then the pig right here with those sick, intense sideburns or whatever's going on there. You look good. Now, they tried to trick us with a sheep update. I won't be fooled, though. The sheep update, there's no new cool variant. Instead, we have different colors that'll spawn here. The most common sheep that you'll be able to find spawning inside of the warm biomes. And this will work with the spawn egg as well if you're trying to just test things out in creative. Well, that's going to be a brown sheep. However, a little bit more uncommonly, you'll be able to find white sheep, light gray, or black sheep spawning here. And not a single change has been made to the pink sheep. You'll be able to find these things rarely across every single biome in the game, just like before. Now, the chicken is a brand new chicken, which means it's got a new drop. That drop is called the brown egg. The brown egg is just like the normal egg, except this time it's brown. When I throw this thing, if I'm lucky enough, a baby chicken can hatch from the egg. Clearly, it's not happening every time. Oh, but when it does happen to baby chickens with their gigantic head, they look so good. Okay, now look, in one of the top 10 most embarrassing updates of all time, I can't believe they did it to me. Then the last update, I talked about the whole pause screen being in the game, and then it wasn't in the game. This update around, though, it should, fingers crossed, hopefully be here. So this is going to mean when you pause the game like this, your game will actually pause now. That means things like mobs moving around. Say, maybe this panicking cow. Well, if I pause the game, it's paused. One of the biggest improvements they've made on the pause screen since it was meant to be in the update last time is things like animations, animated blocks. They will actually pause, and particles will as well. Oh my gosh, how could I do it? I was just, I guess, so excited about the pause screen finally being here that I almost forgot one final warm biome change. The dead bush. When I place this thing on 2 blocks of terracotta. And it is nighttime if I listen real close. Want to be honest, I can almost never hear it, but there's crickets. Leaves. They've stolen their vibe from the cherry blossom leaf block. We know how the cherry blossom does it. It does it a lot more excessively, but you get those cool particle effects. Well, now, every other leaf block in the entire game, oak leaf, birch leaf, whatever, they will also now be able to drop leaves from their block as well. This whole little falling leaf thing, it is so subtle and doesn't happen, like, too commonly. Doesn't also relate to any in-game mechanics, it's just an aesthetic thing. But it's kind of crazy because moving around through a forest biome in this update with leaves falling every once in a while, well, in my opinion, the dev's goal of making your world feel more alive and immersive, it's a tiny little thing, but it actually really checks out. It feels so good. Not necessarily linked to biomes, but instead leading you all over your world, the cartographer update take the job of all time. Our dear friends, the cartographer villagers will now be able to sell you brand new maps that will lead you to new places inside of your world. Now, these map trades, they are always going to be at this second level. From the looks of this chart right here, I mean, this is what we're looking at. It's a whole lot. For example here, we'll just check out one of these today. Inside of the desert, this cartographer villager will be able to sell me a Savannah village map. When I buy that map and take a look at it, this is going to lead me to the nearest Savannah village, determined based off of this villager and where its worksite is. Our different biomed villagers will be able to sell us different biomed maps. And as we can see from this little bunny right here, sometimes a single villager can sell us more than one map trade as well. So for example, this one is selling me a taiga map. I could take this map, go to the taiga village, and basically continue the cycle until I eventually have maps that led me all around the entire world. Whoa, wait a second. That lava, that's naturally generated, and it says no. It's a little Easter egg, because maybe you were wondering, are there any cold plants, maybe cold ambiance inside of this update to match the desert's vibe? Well, friend, just read the lava. The answer is within. They may have neglected the ambiance and the plants inside the cold biomes, and ethically, I guess that's apparently okay, but they would never be allowed to neglect the animals because it's cold cow. Wow, this is one of the best looking mobs. In fact, I think all of the cold mob variants are some of the best looking mob variants inside of this update. The cold pig, the classic one, this thing always reminds me, and I think always will remind me of the beginning of this update cycle. The Highland cold cow, it's great, and of course, a greaser chicken with that hairdo slicked back. Dude, you're copying my trip. I love the cold chickens, and they'll be able to lay a new egg called the blue egg, which again behaves just like the normal egg, except this time hatches a chicken with some of the best hair in the entire game. The sheep change inside of this biome. Most commonly spawning will be black sheep. However, you'll be able to find brown sheep, white sheep, gray sheep, and light gray sheep as well. I'm ending with bad news today. Easy difficulty. Game mode survival. I fall. Well, previously, I believe this was always only inside a preview, but previously on easy difficulty, peaceful difficulty, keep inventory was by default turned on. I don't know about you, but this might be how I'm feeling now, because unfortunately my inventory is empty. Keep inventory is gone. It's a cheat again. And alongside all of those beautiful changes that we just took a look at, exclusive to Bedrock Edition, tons of technical changes and preparations for the future as well. But for Minecraft 1.21.70, the Spring to Life drop on Minecraft Bedrock Edition, that's kind of just about it. Now, like I've mentioned a couple of times earlier on in this video, there is a lot to all of the features inside of this update. If you'd like to become the biggest brain genius on all of these features, maybe check out this video next, or at least the whole playlist. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Tap that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and for a world download of this update, become a channel member. There's a link down below. This world is a Java world, but you could use a converter pretty easily to flip it over to Bedrock. It's a big time in the Minecraft community. I'm so grateful that I'm here and we could hang out and experience this stuff together. That's too sappy for me though, so anyways, I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.